All right. Are you ready for an hour and a half Lord of the Rings discussion? No, it's not that. We're going to talk about other things. We're going to talk about pancake bread,
Yum.
possibly banana bread.
Do you think hobbits eat pancake bread?
They do for second breakfast. I'm joined by two Daves now. The Daves.
Hello.
Hey
Yes.
guys.
Don't say it.
What?
I know what you're going to do.
No.
Hey guys, Dave's here.
No.
Hey y'all. All right. No, but DaveKap and the Monotonists are here. And we're just gonna see, there's been some updates. We've been holding off on playing this for a little while because there's been some crusty performance issues, and I feel like I don't know if they fixed these issues, but maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of the great mystery of every Astroneer stream is it fixed? Stay tuned to find out.
Yeah, we just, it's hard to know. I have the Twitch thing now on, so people can see who I'm streaming with. Last time I played the... Okay, I just got yeeted into my spaceship. The plant life wants me to leave this planet, clearly. Vinny, did you get the skin? Yeah, this is it. This is the one from PAX.
I think you need to sign into Steam Friends.
Don't you dare tell me that you are correct and I do need to do that. I absolutely do. Go ahead. You should be able to find me now. Yeah, last time I played this, I built like a little base, and this planet was mostly inhospitable, which is just a shame because, you know, I got here, I built the base, and I remember not liking this planet very much. And I guess what I want to do is maybe get the fuck off of this planet. Oh, by the way, the song I forgot to say during the break was People Vultures by King Gizzard and the Lizard.
What was the song after
Wizard.
that? The bonus song.
Mr. Beat. Which sounds like you missed a beat. She missed the beat on anyway. But yeah, it's Mr.
The
Beat.
day of the week she was born.
Oh, you know my song. I think that might be one of the least popular Red Vox songs, actually.
I had a lot of fun taking, I think it was that song and Job in the City, something like that, and I put it into a VR rhythm game that is not Beat Saber. It was one called Soundboxing that came out before that. So I made like the beat sheet challenges to various Red Vox songs in there, and that one was really fun to create.
Thanks, Dave. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, there's a video of me playing them too. It's kind of embarrassing.
I think the oh no, I mean that could be the music video. The next album is gonna have much more potential for Beat Saber, I'd imagine.
Well, this was actually Soundboxing. It was a VR rhythm game that was around before Beat Saber got huge.
And then what happened to Soundboxing? Did it just get like forgotten?
Pretty much. I mean, like any sort of game, there's always like a really hardcore people that stick around. The thing that's interesting with Soundboxing though is that you can watch people play songs. Like it records all of your movements in VR, and then you can go back later and see exactly how they played each song. So if you make a crazy difficult one, you can just watch people suffer, and that's appealing to some people.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's very appealing to a lot of people. People watch Kaizo streams after all. Okay, before we begin the podcast, no.
Word from our sponsors?
No. Well, dollarmeatclub.cock is coming soon to your neighborhood. It's, every day you get a piece of bologna, because that's a cheap meat, and it's pretty good. What I wanted to say instead was, I'm here on this planet, and I am in front of the alien monolith. And I guess, what is our goal? What are we doing in Astroneer at this point? Are we still trying to get all the planets?
Yeah. In fact, one of our goals is to see if we can actually fly between planets, which I'm about to try right now.
Oh, right, because there was a problem there. So again, for anyone who's unaware, if anyone's new to the stream, or if you haven't been here in a while, hello! But what we did last time was we had some issues where Dave could not fly to a different planet because he would just lose, again, I think, lose all your stuff?
I think you would explode, right?
I ended up, like, dead and had to make a new character and lost all my crap and lost the...
That's...
The worst?
That's the worst thing that could have happened.
So, yeah, we got a ship ready to go. I'm just gonna get some supplies and take a flight to... Where are you? You don't even know where
I'm on the Thanos planet. It's purple. I mean, anything that's purple now is Thanos, so...
Rest in peace, Dink.
Oh god, yeah, you're right. Mr. Dink was the purple. And now we have another purple overlord. What if Dink is Thanos? Well, I think I Dink. Oof, that would have been a weird one. I think someone made art of Dink as Thanos at some point on the Buru.
Sounds about right. I mean, there's a trifecta of very easy to meme words right now floating around the Vine sphere, because we have
Ants.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, get Pennsylvania, and we have ants.
So pants, ants, eat pant.
And eat pant. So there's a whole lot of art potential, meme potential among all of those. I don't think I've seen all the combinations yet.
Meat is a very simple and common word that can be memed into oblivion and has been. So yeah, you can always come up, like, you can always find like a meat reference somewhere. But ants, I mean, that's not even really our meme at all. It's just, I like that video of Paul Rundgren, brother of producer Todd Rundgren, slapping his chest and knees. So that turned into a thing. Again, still have not gotten that emote approved. So there's a whole... I don't know what's going on there. There's that transparency layer that's missing still, I guess.
It doesn't give you a reason why it's not
Transparency layer is missing. Even though apparently the person that sent the emote again recently said that they added a transparency layer.
Oh, you mean literally like transparency as the graphic part of the file? I thought you were saying like transparency as in they're not telling you why it was rejected. Like there's no transparency.
No. Oof. I gotta say, I don't know if you guys are busy doing something right now, but are you?
I just took off. Yeah.
Okay.
I just took off and it flew me through the planet, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, because it got crusted for a moment there, but now it seems to be a little better.
It's gonna crust again. Yeah, here we go.
Got to order a crustless stream.
Yeah, we gotta
Okay,
use some of that Vinesauce chapstick.
So, chat, tell me, is he on Novus or Visine?
Vinny, when was the last time you defragged? Do you need to defrag SSDs?
Don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
So I'm getting the same amount of crust that I had last time. So what I'm going to try to do is to remove as many tethers as I can from the home planet, since we're essentially done on this planet, and see if that improves it at all.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like my performance has been pretty good aside from the horrendous, just the, you know, the usual stuff.
Well, it looks like I can fly around so I can land near you.
Cool. Let's do it. Land, and you can see my base, and then you can help me. Maybe we have to dig to the planet core, right?
I mean, it's usually what we do.
I think you're on the other side of
Yep.
the teleporter on your planet.
Deep
So, what is that?
planet
Jesus.
core.
You gotta say it correctly, Dave.
You have to power up the portal. That's another thing we need to do. If you want to help me, Dave.
Yep.
Oh, so Dave, pancake bread. I want to tell you a little secret about it. So I like it. I think it delivered. I think it's good. It's like a fancier, like, pound cake. We talked about that. Crumb cake, coffee cake, all those things. That's another word. That's another word people are easily memeing.
If you look above you, you should see me landing nearby.
Front page. Is this stream on the front page? Why would it be on the front page? What about this stream warrants front page? I'm looking on the front page, I don't see it. It's there? Huh? It was on front page during your birthday? I don't really get the front page thing, because they said they were going to put me on for a couple weeks. We did that. That was over. And then Pluto was like, yeah. I was like, good, thanks, man. And then that was it, as far as I was aware. There was just that one-time thing. And then apparently I've been there several other times. So, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know why. I don't want to be there. No, I mean, it's nice. I mean, thank you. I'm probably... it's fine. Oh, right, so pancake bread. We were talking about pancake bread. So it's good. Okay, it's good. So, I tell my friend... Now, I have someone that I know that works at Trader Jim, and I told his brother, who is one of my good friends, that, you know, I got the pancake bread, and I was like, oh, it's dope. I was like, it's sick. And he texted his brother. He was like, yo, so Vin got pancake bread. Is it good? I want to get some. He was like, nah, bro, it's not even good.
What?
So the guy that works at the Trader Jim's, that is like kind of high up, said it was not, in fact, dope or lit. And so I guess we have shit taste.
Wait, so the secret is that it's not actually good?
Yeah, I think we have to reformulate our opinion on this.
Jeez.
It is objectively not good tasting.
I mean,
So now you have to change your opinion.
Uh-huh.
I feel like he needs to provide some constructive criticism.
Yeah, I didn't get any of it.
If that's not good, what is?
Yeah, tell me. I'll take the good stuff. I'll try it.
Like, yeah, if pancake bread is bad, like, whatever's good must be fucking amazing.
Well, I got these weird buttery waffle chips. What are they called?
Stroop waffles?
I don't know. I bought a bunch. I don't do all my primary shopping there because they don't have things that I need, and like their water is expensive, which is weird. Butter waffle cookies. They're just like, you know, hipster, like in the shape of a waffle, and they're very thin, but they're good. So that's something that I've been enjoying.
Do they just have a dartboard at Trader Joe's, where they just like throw a bunch of darts on there with different, food products, and they mix them all together and sell them to you.
They do, but what they do is, see, now they have a tank. They have a tank at their HQ, and they put a man with a very long beard in it. And he's connected to the internet at all times, can't look away from his phone. And they say, listen, my dude, what would be a good combination for the new generation? And then he strokes his beard thusly, and then he arrives at a combination.
Is his name Joe?
He is the Joe.
Some TJ lore tonight.
Yeah. I even got a Star Trek reference in there, too. Like when Data was saying, when I stroke my beard thusly, I appear intellectual.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. That's from those TNG edits. You know the ones I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
God, those are my favorite.
I think I know the edits better than the actual show.
Yeah.
I did too for a time. Now I'm well versed in things that mean nothing in my own life.
Alright, well, I'm on your planet. I have the ship here. But my game is running like the just most flaming pile of trash, so I'm gonna restart.
So like a horse's asshole.
So much like that.
That was a common thing when I was growing up that I heard. Your sister's ass. Or you're a horse's ass. That was like just an insult. Or like if someone said something that you disagreed with, you'd say, your sister's ass. So when you said your thing, that had nothing to do with what I just said, but I wanted to say it anyway, so.
Sometimes you gotta just scream ass.
Yes.
Yes!
I did it.
It's funny what a lot of curse words originate from in different languages. English doesn't do it as much, but I remember it was like Spanish and stuff like that, where most of the curse words are just like comparing you to an animal. Like they're just really specific, like you are this animal, or like you are a
You
pig,
donkey!
a dog. It's just, yeah.
Swine.
Pig dog. Isn't that a German one?
Schweinen.
Oh my god, this game.
Schweinhund.
Actually, I learned that from the medic in TF2.
Okay, here I am thinking that you had some kind of like German ancestry or you studied it and it's like just yeah.
Some kind of education, nah. But it's always funny that anytime I'm in a server in any kind of game where the primary language there isn't English, it's like everybody speaks English swear words fine, and then this immediately like jump back to other languages. So it's like those are the first words everybody learns, I guess.
Now, I hate to interrupt you, Mono, but I believe the new patch is going swimmingly. Based on the site I'm seeing at the moment.
Oh, I imagine. Oh wait, no, I could actually watch.
It's vibrating at
nice.
impossibly high speeds.
I'm loading right now, so...
You know, it looks like you're in the thing that's this. It looks like you're in an invisible centrifuge, to like, you know,
If we can
get your
harness this
innards.
power.
We can harness. We harness the power of Dave's like vomiting, projectile vomiting. We'll just have it like we'll have it spin a turbine.
Yeah, I will be the perpetual energy machine that you need.
My favorite rock star from the early 90s, Turbine. That's all, folks. I'm gonna mute for a little while. You don't need to hear from me for a while.
Sounds like something I would say.
So I believe, I don't know if it was the end of the last Astroneer stream or if it was during some other. Somebody was asking you about Interstellar, and they had a particular. Oh no, it was like fifth dimensional stuff, isn't it? We were going to talk about the fifth dimension, I think. Nobody has any idea what I'm talking
Oh, I'm
about.
qualified to talk about the fifth dimension.
Something about like what is the way like us in the third dimension views the second and the first dimension, and what would a fourth dimensional being think of the third and the second dimension? Is this ringing any bells?
It's familiar enough, but I just immediately think of like the way we perceive like lizards is the way a fourth dimensional being would perceive us.
Just gotta sit and think about it.
Well, I don't know. This was brought up in stream at some point, but the thing I wanted to bring to it was the movies with Mikey video. Ooh, for Interstellar, he's talking about when he reaches the whatever it's called at the end of the movie, the black hole inside the black hole.
Yep, it goes in there, yeah.
And Mikey's explanation is that that's fourth dimensional space built by a fifth dimensional being. And
Okay.
how crazy of an idea it is that a fifth dimensional being built something for a third dimensional being. And that's like us building something for a first dimensional being.
Okay.
But we have no idea what a first dimensional being would be because it's just so
Yep.
small and
It's a
insignificant.
dot. Yeah, that's right. It's a dot on a page.
So what I think is great is that Mikey takes this to mean like it's this beautiful thing that
Who's
this
Mikey?
fifth dimensional Mikey Newman. He does the movies with Mikey series for FilmJoy. You've watched these, haven't you?
No, Dave.
Oh, I could have sworn that you had seen some of them. You referenced at least one of them once. Maybe I'm crazy.
It's possible. You know, it's anything's possible. Maybe I've seen something.
This guy, he used to work on Borderlands. He was on 1 and 2. Worked at Gearbox, and I think he like had a stroke, and wasn't
That's why
able
he's
to-
talking about the fifth dimension.
Exactly. He wasn't able to continue working for Gearbox, so he made this movie series with FilmJoy, and like just constantly like interesting reviews and different perspectives of movies. And I think they're really, really good. Kind of every frame a painting, sort of, but without a little less about cinematography and a little more about how the movie was made and what kind of message it's trying to put across.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, some people do want to understand these concepts, and they put, you know, every effort into understanding them that they can, and that includes multiple DMT trips. Really though, it's like, you know, some people really want to explore, and they'll just do dimethyltryptamine, which is the second time tonight that's come up. Because these are concepts that, I mean, you could think about, but it's like, how the fuck do you articulate them? How do you really come to understand them?
Well, speaking of dimensions, there's something that would probably be pretty fun to play on stream sometime. It's this thing called, I think, 5-dimensional toys or something like that.
I saw
And
that.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't
it's
play
like
it, but yeah.
I always have trouble trying to understand, like, how would there ever be more than 3 dimensions kind of thing, but it's an interesting interpretation of it. So it's just like, it gives you more than 3 axes to move shapes on, and then it visualizes it, how it might appear. And it's still really confusing, but it's just like conceptually interesting, I think.
I mean, it could make for a good stream, but, you know, I might have to stream that from Massachusetts or Seattle if I were to do that kind of stream. It's a weed joke. It was a weed joke.
Okay.
But,
figure out where to put the brow in terms of high brow, low brow.
yeah, it was lowbrow. You know, I vary. I go between the brows. Between the brows of love.
You're just browsing around.
Love is such an ugly 5-letter word, you know. Actually, that is highbrow. If it's a weed joke, it's highbrow. How now? How now? Oh, this is terrible. Why would anyone watch this?
High, comma, brow. Like, hi, brow.
Hi, brah. It's me, your mixology bartender. Today we're going to be mixing THC cannabinoids in with these awesome concoctions that we've come up with here at the mixology bar. I got nothing else. That was all I had.
That's all you need.
Brah?
What was his name? Cathaniel?
No, that... Cathan was earlier.
Cathan.
Yeah. Yeah, Cathan. But then there's, it's Caleb and Nathan. Brian with a Q. Yeah, so that's the other guy. But this turned into... you guys were talking about some really interesting stuff. And I had to take us down to Dumbtown. So...
Hey, we are visitors in your home. You're free to do what you like with your stream.
Alright. Well, in that case, I want you to bark like a chicken.
Think about it for a while.
Chickens don't bark. Gotcha. Roo. Scared ya.
But do they cross the road?
Okay. It's just one of those things, man. It comes up on the stream every couple months. We know the chicken joke. And then people get mad at me. And then that's when you learn that no matter what, internet is correct.
I mean, the other side, we know what that means, right?
Tell me what it means.
The afterlife.
Yeah, that was... yeah.
Okay, just making sure we're all on the same page here.
Well, that was the explanation of the joke that I gave. Until it got really controversial. And people rejected outright that their worldview had changed. It's like suddenly discovering that there was no God after following Christianity for 37 years. It was like, nah, that's just an anti-humor chicken joke. It's like the punchline is that there is no joke.
First stage is denial.
You know, yeah. Dave, I already got a hole.
Oh.
That was a weird statement, and I'd like to never repeat that on stream, but you want to come find the hole?
Just keep making statements you shouldn't be making. Yes, where is your hole, Vinny?
It's this way.
Just frying up some dinner. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, vocal fry is a real fucking disaster, isn't it?
I have had that twice now since I began streaming, and boy, I don't like it.
What, vocal fry?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also a choice. Like, you can make the choice to sound like that. Like, some people just like, oh.
Yeah, I really can't stand it at all.
Like this. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I do it sometimes. Sometimes at the end of a sentence, I'm
There's some singing styles are like that, where it's like they gotta rev up their voice before they talk, like...
oh god, but
Makes
that's
me cry.
bordering on bananas. That's the problem. When you get to bananas level, then you start, yeah, frying it up a bit. This is your captain speaking. We're cruising at an altitude of 40,900 yards.
That's what it's from.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Speaking of Rocco.
There's a movie.
Yeah.
There's a Moopy.
I don't know how to feel about a movie, but I liked Rocco a lot as a kid. But I don't know, what are they going to do in a movie? just like, hey kids, remember this? Over and over and over.
Or maybe it's one of those things where you get your kids into it and then they start watching the show from when you were young, because it'll work on a level of like adult versus small human. What are you pointing at, Dave?
Oh, I'm just trying to get your attention so you stop digging.
Why?
You're not digging down anymore.
What?
The nature of the spherical planet we're on is such that you have to, every once in a while, dig like down more instead of...
Oh. Oh, I was wondering why it was... Oh,
Yeah.
mental. Well, okay, I'll let you figure that out for a second. I'm gonna go back up for air. I was gonna put a bunch of tethers down, but I don't think I want to, I don't think I want to lag the planet further.
Hashtag lag the planet.
Like the planet, man. I'm glad your performance is good, Vin, because it's terrible for me.
Or you have a good computer though, right?
Yeah. How's it for you, Mana?
It's been at a steady 15 to 10 FPS.
Ooh.
All right,
That's not acceptable.
I mean, in single player it runs fine, and other streams of this it was running fine. I think it's just that the save has been going on for so long. We have like multiple bases, multiple planets,
Yeah.
different cores and tethers,
And also pre-patch stuff. Like we've been going for, before patches came to fix things. Patches is the name of the developer.
It's just the one developer named Patches.
Yeah.
And it's a dog, actually.
The dog named Patches that's fixing the game, which is why the performance is still poop. Because Patches isn't doing the work. But it is rough work.
Nice.
It's, yeah.
Speaking of Rocco's Modern Life, which isn't a transition, but the voice of SpongeBob voiced Heifer in Rocco, and I didn't realize that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I can't remember, there's an actor that did Rocco's voice, did a bunch of other things too.
Yeah, Carlos, I forgot his last name, but he was in Reno 911.
That's right, yeah.
And, he's just a good character actor.
It is quite a trip when you look up the history of voice actors, or I mean, what things they've voiced in the past, and your mind just gets endlessly blown over and over again. Like, it turns out half your childhood is voiced by like one person.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also like actors. I'm noticing now that I'm watching some of these TV shows, like I mentioned The Terror, and fucking, there's like a lot of people in that I've seen. I'm like, who are these people? Oh, that's the dude from The Expanse. That's the dude from this. That's the dude from Chernobyl. Dave is dead.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Stellan Skarsgård, who is in Chernobyl. He's in a lot of things that I didn't realize. And I can't remember what they are now.
He's in Chernobyl. Is he going to be okay?
No.
Like this? Oh no.
He was actually, well, he grew up in Sweden, just as the Chernobyl stuff was happening. And they had to, like, he was talking about this on the podcast that they did for it. And, like, he went through a lot of stuff where there were certain playgrounds that he couldn't play at or something like that. Because Sweden actually got hit with a lot of that shitty shit cloud with the radioactivity.
Oh yeah, it went all over Europe. I mean, it's just like tiny little particles of radioactive stuff. Like, just gets into the atmosphere and it just travels all over the place.
Mm-hmm. But that actor, who I was like, this guy is so fucking familiar. And then I go onto his IMDb page. He's in The Hunt for Red October. He's in Good Will Hunting. He's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Angels and Demons, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. In Thor, Avengers, Thor 2, Avengers 2. Like, this dude's in fucking everything. And again, it's like I knew the face, and I just had to check, and there he was. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is a great movie. Robert Downey and Val Kilmer. What else was he in? Friends? Oh, never mind. That's a movie. Friends, not the show. But yeah, just even like not just voice actors, but just going through the stuff, the pages, and being like, oh, I've seen this guy a million times. A second. Sorry, okay. I had to check something. He's in The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, which is the Terry Gilliam movie that was in development hell for like 20 years. And I didn't even realize that movie has been out. Like, apparently it's pretty good, and it's been out since last year.
Oh, it just came out recently? How long was it in development?
It was in development hell for 20 years.
Wow.
It was originally, it had Brad Pitt in it, and now it's Adam Driver. Oh wait, no, Johnny Depp. Sorry, Johnny Depp played the Adam Driver part. So yeah, just a movie that was supposed to be made, and just disasters, all kinds of stuff prevented the development of it. There's a documentary that I'd recommend highly about how this movie was not made. And it's fascinating.
I do think it's interesting when a movie in itself isn't very famous, but movies about the movie, or documentaries about the movie, get a lot more fame.
It's called, the documentary is called Lost in La Mancha. It was in development hell for 29 years, apparently, according to a member of Chad. That sounds about right. But yeah, the documentary is genuinely like holy fuck. Could more terrible things, like people thought the production of this movie was cursed. I'm having a lot of trouble getting to the core of this planet.
Do you have the upgraded drill head?
I do.
Because you can also get the
upgraded?
the size of the drill to be bigger. Yeah, there's like there's several different tiers that let you dig faster and stuff.
Found it. Yep, got it. Oh boy, this is gonna be majestic. I'm so far up in the sky, too. Oh my god. It's mental down here, guys. I'm gonna die. Yeah, there's no coming back from this one. This was a one-way trip.
Do you have resin on you to make filters?
Of course not. Because I'm a dumbass, of course not.
Astroneer Handbook Guide Rule 1. Always have resin with you.
Yeah, but you can't remember that for like 3 weeks. I mean, I can't.
I'll just die and retrieve my body later.
Someone in chat claims that the cores give oxygen now.
Do they?
They do, but I don't know if they have to be activated for that.
Oh, we're going in for a landing. I'm gonna find out.
It's either locked out of the moon's core, I think, right?
They do. I'm alive.
Oh.
I'm alive! Is this air?
Do you have a new outlook on life now that you had like a close call with death?
Yeah, I definitely want to, yeah, what do I want to do?
So there's something in
No,
the center
I can't
there
think
that-
of it. Yeah, I'll let you know when I got the lesson.
I don't think you got close
Oh,
enough
shit.
to death.
I found graphite. I'm scared of graphite now after watching Chernobyl.
Can make some pencils.
Could. What were you gonna say, Dave? The other Dave?
Yeah, what does the core want from you? Like, does it need to be powered up or does it need a material?
I'll let you know.
Alright. Because I
Yeah.
can bring it in.
Graphite is actually not to be afraid of. You're not. It's just the way nuclear fission works. It just slows the molecules so that they crash into each other better, gooder. Don't be afraid of graphite. Fishing for fishies. I don't know how to get into the core. Like, this cool techno music is playing. It's not really techno, is it? But the cool music is playing, but I can't get in.
Do you see any like attachment points anywhere on that sphere?
No. Vinny, you have to activate one of those black-purple cubes on the surface first.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, I know where that is.
I'm looking for it. I don't see. Oh, there's no.
No, it's on the surface of the planet, like on
Oh.
the crust. The crust.
You know, Dave, I found one of those.
Yeah, I saw it while I was orbiting the planet. I'm just trying to remember my orientation right now so I can which way I'm supposed to go.
I'll just let chat look at this. Nice, right? These Astroneer streams are not action-packed. And I am not killing.
But Vinny, what do you not do?
I know.
I'm not too bad at that voice, at least.
Peanut! Peanut!
Are you talking to yourself?
I can't... I don't know where to go. I built like a little exit area, and I don't know where it is. My oxygen's all filled, which is nice, but...
You should just have to jump away, and then your gravity will like, flip to grab onto one of the outer tendril-looking things.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's more like I don't know how to get back to my base. You think a teleport function would kill this game?
I mean, technically, the teleporters are the teleporting. But you mean like a...
Like a personal
like-
teleporter, like that you can use one time to get back to your base. Not like... Yeah, no, I guess I can see how it would be a little bit... Like, it would kill some of the adventure. But maybe
Well,
like
that's
what if it costs like a lot of materials? You know, it's one of those things where it costs a lot, but you can use it, and if you need to use it in a pinch, it's good.
Yeah, it could be like sort of like a oxygen filter or something, except to be like a one-time use, like refall back to your base or something.
And then you have to build more if you want to use it again.
All right, I know where I'm going. I found you a tractor, which I think I can drive to the thing. I just need to get more generators to bring.
Okay. I'm like floating. It's really nice. Yeah, I nearly achieved orbit.
There are some pretty awesome videos online of people pushing this game as far as it can go in terms of like all the weird gravitational stuff, where it's like if you fall fast enough on if you fall from high enough on a small planet, you can fall into orbit of the planet, if that makes sense.
Mental.
It's like you go over the horizon, and I know there's like a physics term for it, where it's like you pass a certain threshold of the gravitational pull where it like loops you back around the back side again, and then you like enter orbit. I can't remember what it's called.
Geocentric? I don't know. I'm just making shit up. But the question is, Mono, what would happen if Gollum put the ring up his ass? Don't answer that. You didn't deserve that.
I have a lot to think about in tonight's stream.
I found it. Keep going this way. I should be able to join up with my original passage.
Someone in chat thinks that Gollum probably tried that at some point with all the time he spent alone.
Oh, does that mean that Frodo was wearing a butt ring?
Did you ever watch what was it called? Upright Citizens Brigade.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember Ass Penny?
Ass Penny, yeah. That's confidence. You get confidence from Ass Pennies because you know they've been in there.
I mean, and so when you wear that ring, you've got confidence.
We should explain Ass Pennies because people are just putting question marks in the chat, and I think they deserve an explanation. So it's a sketch from UCB. There's a show, Upright Citizens Brigade TV show, and there's a sketch show, and this one lad talks about how what he would do to get confidence is he would put pennies in his ass, and then he would give them to people. As one would do. Why? Because confidence. I'll explain. Here, let me pull up the... Vinny sure explained it well. Ass pennies.
Need Jamie to pull it up for you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm playing it now, so... So someone's golfing.
So anyways, I finally got a meeting with Bellamy, the Bacon Bits King. Now I know my campaign's awesome. The problem is, everybody I talk to says Bellamy's a real ball breaker.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah. Well, Nick, you're my brother, and you're incredibly successful.
Yes, I am.
I was hoping that maybe you could give me some tips that might give me an edge when I meet with him.
Okay, sure. Here's a good one. When you greet him, give him a good firm handshake and don't release until he does.
No. I want something different, something special.
Wear a red tie.
Power
Wear a
tie.
red
That's
tie.
Bush League. I'm talking about a secret weapon here, Nick.
Oh, secret weapon, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you're after. But if I tell you, you gotta promise not to tell anybody else.
I promise.
This is sort of a long-term strategy. When's your meeting with Bellamy?
Week from today.
Oh, not much time. But it might work. Yeah, okay, sure. Every time a penny passes through your hands, stick it up your ass.
What?
And then spend it.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah. I thought you were really gonna help me. How does sticking pennies up my ass give me an edge when I meet with them?
You don't just stick them up your ass, you spend them. Now, like I said, it's a long-term strategy. I've been doing this for 11 years now. Every day for the past 11 years, I've stuck $30 in pennies up my ass. I use them for everything. Cab rides, movie theater, groceries.
What does that
Will
accomplish?
you listen? It's a lot of ass pennies I got out there, my friend. And here's where the magic comes in. When I meet with someone who intimidates me, who puts me on edge, a real hard ass, I just think to myself, they've probably handled one of my ass pennies. In fact, they probably have one in their pocket right then. That just seems to sort of give me the upper hand. I mean, hey, I haven't touched anything that's been in their ass. Hey, where's Bellamy like to eat?
He likes to eat at the pump room.
Great, here's what you do. Go to the bank today, get yourself $50 in pennies. Stick them all up your ass. One at a time, of course. You go to the pump room, buy yourself a nice dinner, paying entirely in pennies. Now, they'll be using your pennies for next week at least. Bellamy goes in there to eat, he gets your ass pennies for change. By the time you meet with him, you know he's had something in his hand that you've had in your ass.
So?
So then you got the upper hand.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. It's just like imagining someone in their underwear.
No, it's not. It's horrible.
Yeah, well, it works for me.
You know what? I used to look up to you. I used to think you really had it together.
Oh, I do have it together, little brother. You don't pull down 8 figures a year without having it together.
You don't have it together, Nick. You stick pennies up your ass for confidence. That's not having it together.
Do you think you're better than me?
I didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't have to. It's written all over your face. You have any change in your pocket? Take it out.
Why?
Go on. Take it out and take a good look at it. Oh, my. You've got a few pennies in there, don't you? I've been sticking $30 in pennies up my ass for the past 11 years. That's 3,000 pennies a day, 21,000 pennies a week, 1,092,000 pennies a year. To date, that's 12,012,000 pennies, 8 times the population of Nebraska. Those pennies were in my ass. You think you're better than me? Oh, you're not better than me. You handle my ass pennies every day. You pick up my ass pennies for good luck. You throw my ass pennies in fountains and make wishes on them. You give my ass pennies to your little daughter to buy gumballs with. You handle my ass pennies every day. All of you. You all handle my ass pennies. I'll laugh at you before you can laugh at me. Because your pennies have been in my ass.
Yep. So anyone else got a bunch of pennies in their pocket at the moment?
You know, the exclusive access. All I could hear was you laughing at
That's
nothing,
it?
which is the funniest thing.
How about you, Mono? Did you pull up the stream? Or did you end up just...
Oh, I listened to the whole thing. Yeah.
You got it? Okay. You'd never heard that one before?
No, but was that the same show that had the never put salt in your eyes skit? Or was that Kids in the Hall?
That might have been Kids in the Hall. But I don't know. I don't know yeah, I don't know that skit.
But when I always think about money, it just seems like it's gotta be the dirtiest substance in everyday life. I mean,
And then you
like
combine it with
proof, but yeah.
ass pennies and... I like how he had an exact statistic about how many pennies were in his ass at some point. Oh my god, I'm gonna die again. Right there. I'm right there! Fuck.
in someone in chat is saying that a lot of that humor reminds them of Whitest Kids You Know.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
seen their videos?
Yeah, I've seen those. They had
Those
some
are good
really
ones.
some classic ones.
I like the business one the best, where it's like the main guy in the crew is the boss of this company, and
Trevor.
he's giving all these analogies for business. Yeah. And he's just like sitting at the window of his building with a sniper rifle, like shooting at the competing business company. But I can't possibly make it funny through the way I was saying. It's
Yeah,
like all about the
I don't know that
presentation
one.
of-
I don't think. I might have seen it, but I don't know.
He's just like, there's tons of different business lingo rolling off the tongue. He's like, this is business. This is how it's done. Like, get that intern in here. And the intern like takes the shot. And he gets shot by the competing sniper, and then he stands in the window and then shoots the enemy sniper. And then he picks up the phone. He's like, "Damn it, Jim! You got the sniper on the roof again." No, it's just all of the biggest cliches in business, but associated with like terrible
with murder.
gunfire and yeah.
Huh.
It's like, this is a casual. It's just part of business. It's what you got to do.
That's yeah, that's how you do a good skit show. You mesh opposites. Well, that's not the only rule, but that's one possible way to do it. I mean, Monty Python did it. Monty Python influenced probably all of these skit shows. Definitely Kids in the Hall. But, you know, Python-esque was actually the first Metroidvania term. Where it was like, well, maybe not the first, but it was like, here's a term to tell you that, oh, it's a little bit like the humor is like a little surreal, it's a little bit like Monty Python.
It took
Or
me
maybe
so
a lot
long-
of it.
Yeah, it took me so long to realize what the term "susical" meant.
Yeah, that one's weird. A shoe. I put it in the poo. And now my foot smells.
What?
Don't you dare look at me.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's very susical.
There's one time I stepped in dog shit, and I was ashamed that I stepped in dog shit. And I was probably in like 2nd or 3rd grade, and my classmates were like, "Oh!" And I was like, and they're like, "Did you step in dog shit?" I was like, "No, it's smelly mud."
That's possible.
No one believed it. But I was like really upset that they even would make the assumption that it was dog shit, because but smelly mud was somehow fine. If it was smelly mud, it was no problem, but dog shit? How could I do something like that? I should have just owned it, you know? Just took the shoe off. And then when I got home, my parents were like, "Oh yeah, that's dog shit." I was like, "Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling."
What if your parents just disagreed with how they treated you, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a load of dog shit," but it turns out that they're describing the situation as being dog shit, not that the stuff on your shoes was that. And then
You know what that is?
Wordplay comedy sketch.
That is very Python-esque of you.
I'm very
That's a
proud.
very Eric Idle-esque sketch. He would write a sketch like that.
Glad I can make him proud.
Yeah.
Something that, when you're talking about Dr. Seuss, is that I had the book, what is it? One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. And when I was like 4 years old or something like that, my older brother would replace all of the nouns in the entire book with the word fart. And then just read the whole book that way. And I would be in uncontrollable laughter, like page after page.
Sometimes that's all it takes, man. You want to hear, you know, my thing was like, my cousin made the Book of Clowns, which I then continued. And I've talked about the Book of Clowns. Legendary. It's the legendarium of my sense of humor in some ways, along with the Rubber Chicken book. And it was just, you know, it was a little comic that he made. We called it the Book of Clowns. We had part 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, the clowns would take like they bit off my principal's nose, and they would take a shit. The clowns would shit, and if you got too close to the clown shit, it was like radioactivity. And if you like, you know, you leaned in to get a smell or to get a look, you would turn into a clown.
Oh.
It was like zombies, but clowns. But instead of getting bit, all you had to do was smell the clown shit.
Sounds like an Aristocrats joke.
And then, they fucked each other. No, sorry, that was a terrible Gilbert Gottfried.
You know, I have a little brush with fame with Gilbert. You know how?
No.
He blocked me on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You know, it's weird. Like, I'll be on Twitter sometimes, and I try not to use it too much because it's just misery, like the business of misery. Do you know why he blocked you on Twitter, by the way?
Yeah, it was back when he was reading 50 Shades of Grey, and that was going around the internet, like, oh, look at Gilbert Gottfried reading 50 Shades of Grey. And so he retweeted pretty much every single tweet about it, so my Twitter feed was just like 50 retweets of him people mentioning him reading 50 Shades. And I said, you don't need to retweet every tweet about you reading that book. We know that you did it. Thank you. And that was apparently offensive, and he blocked me.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't.
All you have to do is mute. That's really all you had to do. That's like, shit.
I mean, I know it was I probably wrote it in a dick kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, and it's...
And I didn't learn about the turn off retweets function until much later.
Yeah.
I'm not good at social media.
I think of anyone, William Shatner probably has, like, the most amount of blocks. Like, that dude probably blocks so many people. Because he's always arguing with someone on Twitter. It's absurd. But, anyway, there will be times where I'm on Twitter and someone will retweet something like, just the other day, and this is, like, kind of dark. This is kind of dark, but I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go there because I feel like it's such a bizarre story. Someone retweeted about how someone else was missing. Like, another person was missing. Like, if you're in this area, please signal boost this because this person is missing. And it's an older person. It's not a kid. And it was, you know, their account. And I went to click on it because I just wanted to see, like, what's going on. Are they okay? Could I help? Are they in my area? And I was blocked by the person that was missing. But I don't know who they were, and they very likely did not know who I was. So I just assumed it's one of those accounts where they... Because I'm also blocked by Will Wheaton, and I'm pretty sure it's a block list. Because Will Wheaton added, like, the poopy words. Like, you say, if you say the word poop, I believe you get blocked. So I think it's a block list, and I'm pretty sure that was what was going on there. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a weird, it's a weird thing. Dave, real quick. You're building power here, right?
Yeah, we need to make a bunch of medium generators, which means finding tungsten, which means I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
So we may not have tungsten on this planet?
I don't know. I've been told to scrap things in your medium scrapper. But
okay.
I don't know what fits in.
Okay.
The moon is full of tungsten. I made like 4 medium generators on there.
Vinny, have you seen the Clown NATO trailer? Clown NATO.
Like clown NATO?
No, Clown NATO, like a tornado of clowns. Fuck.
Oh. Well, I'd rather see the other one.
Clown NATO would be cool too. It's like, you know, World War II is over. FDR. Wait, which president was at the end of World War II? FDR passed before the end of World War II, yeah? Truman was the president. And, President Truman is like, we need to form NATO. But we need the experts. And
Well, when he says, "I'll go,"
no, like he says that he wants experts, but someone misunderstands him and they get clowns, and they just leave it. And so NATO is just a bunch of like clowns making decisions around the world. I don't know. This is terrible.
oh, I'd watch it. I was gonna say, when he says we need to form NATO, that he just stands up and starts spinning in a circle and becomes a tornado, and then he forms the NATO with an apostrophe.
That's pretty good. Hey, by the way, I'd like chat. Do you know about being furnished with every informations? I've talked about that it was a scam email. And I say, you know, I will furnish you with every informations you need. I found the original email.
Ooh.
Yep, I got it.
You're like a meme archaeologist.
Around for it a bit. I'll read some of it. I'll get it in like text form for you all at some point, but I'll read a little bit just as a preview. This was my favorite spam email. The reason I think I still have this is because I wrote a report about it. Like in college, I actually used this as the subject of a report. But yeah, the dude's name was Iro Christoph. Dear friend, forgive my indignation if this message comes to you as a surprise, and if it might offend you without your prior consent and writing through this channel. I am Mr. Iro Christoph in all caps. Here, I'll even put it on screen a bit so you can see, because it's real. The Secretary, Contract Awarding Committee of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, with headquarters in Lome, Togo. I got your information in a business directory from the Togolese Chambers of Commerce and Industry when I was searching for a reliable, honest, and trustworthy person to entrust this business with. We wish to transfer the sum of US $22 million into your personal or company's bank account. This is born out of our belief in the non-stable and sporous political nature of this sub-region. It is agreed, as the account owner in this deal will to allow you 25% of the entire sum as compensation. 70% will be held on trust, while 5% will be used to defray any incidental charges and costs during the course of the transaction. Upon the receipt of this informations, the documents and approval with the texts will be sent to you for confirmation, then forwarded to the organization for ratification and subsequent pay. What? As with the case of all organized, sensitive, and conspired deals, we solicit for your unreserved confidentiality and utmost secret in this business. We hope to retire peacefully and lead an honorable business life afterwards. There are no risks involved. Reply ASAP with regards, Iro Christoph. So I wrote stuff back, but then I called myself Darden. Severn. I'm gonna dig through this. I'll get you more eventually. But I called myself Severn Darden. I wrote, Dear Sir, you have not offended me in the slightest indignation of not writing with consent through this prior channel. My name is Severn Darden. I am pleased to have heard from you from your Chamber of Commerce and Togolese. I am a very honest person with trustworthy affairs and would like to partake and entrust in this business venture with you. 22 millions seems like a sizable sum for an honest and paltry painter like myself, so I ask of you, how can I be sure that your affairs are of trustworthy consent? I direct to impede upon you. I hope my words and inclinations do not appear of ill intent or sporosity, but you can misgivingly appreciate my concern and mastication for inquiring so. I am ready to give you all my informations without regard, so please contact myself soon as indeterminably possible. Thanks you. I really wrote this back. And, yeah, there it is.
Really using your degree there.
So, here it is. Here's the best part, I think. Sorry for if anyone's not interested in this, you know, what can I say? But I'll skim through this a bit. This was the reply I got from Iro. I thank you immensely for your prompt response to my proposal, also your concern, blah blah blah, for your information, bank account, etc., etc., etc. Please know that this fund is my last financial hope and huge amount of money the brighter future of my family depends on, as I cannot boast of a good life and future for my family if retirement should knock on my door, and I have entrusted you to lead it to success. A stranger, apparently. Also, you are requested to forward all correspondence to me for directives and instruction, as I am like an insider, furnishing you with every information you need. And I included my office picture, expecting your urgent call. And it was a picture of some dude in like a gold outfit, but I don't have that picture anymore. So, I replied and it just got silly and they didn't... Here's my reply. It got sillier and sillier and I went mental, but I don't think they got back to me. I wrote, good day, my sir. I have swiftly and lethargically received your message. I have to admit to being intrepidly surprised by your implications. I beg to ask the inquiry. You have caught me off guard. Although it has reached me with exceeding happiness like yourself, my first indication is to examine the weight of these affairs and discern them to be perilous. =, do not take this the wrong way. I am merely turgid and erect. I am merely turgid and erect with hesitation. Plus, for it is such a large sum of fund. Oh... I have recently been stuck with disaster as my dear wife Fatma has been afflicted with the innocuous Villalobos disease. It affects her inner rim and causes it to expunge fluids that, when completely drained, could lead to her death. Our doctors has diagnosed her with few weeks of good health before she too shall run dry like her rim. Obvious, this news is very saddening and mirthful. Our son and daughter has already begun to construct a coffin, as is custom in our culture. My affinity for inflammation cannot align myself to explain my sorrow and contempt ravishment. It is possible to bring her to America for proper treatment, but we do not yet have money in our account to amount to a successful journey. Our funds are currently being transferred to a new account. Our old bank has been destroyed last month in a freak bombing accident. Oh, Jesus. The fuck country was I from? I would much like to continue business dealing with you, as you are exemplary and upstanding man of good faith and family. As further sign of good faith, will you please purchase the plane tickets to expediently get my wife and I to the American doctor? I have no reason to doubt your good business practices, as all your information is good and trustworthy affairs. I would be overjoyed to pay you back with more when I receive my funds again. I amount to good savings. Please let me know if you can do anything at all for us, Darden. I think what I wanted to do was, I wanted to see if they would get back to me. I wanted to see if maybe they had some kind of, like, sympathy and, you know, just, I wanted to keep the shit show going as long as I could and you know, save my wife's leaking rim. Vinny, what's with the bad English on the last one? You missed it, didn't you? Like the plane to America to save my wife Fatma. It flew right over. Vinny, was that in your report? Yes. Yes, that was. The last paragraph I wrote was, it's been 4 days, I've yet to receive a reply from my good friend. Maybe the bit about paying for the plane ticket scared him away. It's quite odd, though, with such a large sum of money in his possession, you would think such a transaction would be relatively painless. These scammers want so much, but when asked for a small favor, they back away. I can't help but feel a sense of poetic justice for making this guy read through nearly a page of this unintelligible garbage, only to find out I wanted plane tickets to save my wife's leaking rim. While this contributes absolutely nothing to the fight against spam, it sure as hell contributes to my growing pile of inane observations. I don't know what that means, but alright. I got an A, so... I guess I don't remember who I submitted that to, like which professor, but... So yeah. When did you do all this? 12, 13 years ago? It honestly sounded like a fun thing to write about. It was honestly, that was the only fucking thing that kept me sane in college. Was, doing stupid, like, papers like that. No, I know what the word inane means. I guess it's correct, but I don't know why I said that.
One of my favorite parts was you have an inclination for inflammation.
I do. That's right.
Learn something new every day.
Someone wrote you should have put a penny in there. Would have plugged her leaking rim. I should have sent a penny to Iro Christoph. He could have furnished me with all his informations, and I could have furnished him with some ass pennies. Actually, where am I going? Oh. Inclination for inflammation with Harrison Ford under the floorboards. Vinny, look at your solar panel. Oh yeah, my solar panel's broken. It's weird. It's not the only thing that's broken. My fucking backpack is going mental.
There was I don't know if it was a creepy pasta or if it's some ARG thing or what, but there was a story kind of similar to that with spam emails where it was a scenario where all those porn bots that message people on different social media sites that are like, hey, check out blah, blah, blah. And then they have some like bit.ly link that what if this was an alien's attempt at making contact with people, because they have a very narrow perception of what drives humans. They're like, oh, okay, like reproduction, all right. So this is an actual alien life form contacting other people, saying like, okay, they like sex, so let's link them to here. Let's try to make contact. But then we just ignore it and just treat it like it's just this worthless, annoying thing. But this is actually an attempt at understanding humanity.
No wonder we're still alone.
Yeah.
Apparently this was a real conspiracy theory at some point, according to Desert. Oh, dear lord. DaveKap, what's going on the planet? I'm literally walking around in circles. I'm just wondering, we still need a medium generator?
A couple of them from what I'm reading. I'm on the moon looking for wolframite to the
Oh, you're on
tungsten.
a different... You're not even on this planet.
Yeah, I left to get wolframite to bring back. And, yeah, I'm just trying to find that right now.
So did I just like drastically increase porn site traffic by saying that? People are
We
going
wish
to
to talk to you through porn sex.
Your alien impersonation reminds me of Conan O'Brien's nerd impersonation.
We gotta go see the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
See, if you want to do an alien, start with that. Start with...
We wish to find the porn. Our species is dying. Need to create hybrids. These creatures are very strange and incompatible with our birthing tools.
And then, like, years later, they found out that they were cows and not actually the dominant species on this planet.
We abducted too many cows. Wrong species, wrong hybrids.
So I see Desert is talking about this one particular ARG. I know the one that you're talking about, and I remember that one ended up going in so far off the deep end that I lost interest in it. But it's weird when ARGs, it inevitably comes up when I'm around. It's just that when they reach the mainstream and people are so absolutely confused that they believe 100% of what's going on, like it becomes like a sideshow thing. Like you just kind of sit back and just watch the ARG wreak havoc on the mainstream people that just have no clue what's going on. Yeah, it was one that started out. Oh yeah, it's called Sexy Girl Max 2019 or something like that. And it started off like it was a porn bot, and then it turned into this like deep thing, and then it's like, oh, binary code, oh, like all the big like cliches. So then that's how I immediately knew, oh, okay, I see what's going on. But still, I like that idea that it's just like an alien's misunderstanding or a really narrow-minded interpretation of what humanity wants to make contact with.
If you think about it, there's a whole field of fucking psychology that dictates that everything we do for sex.
Right.
Like everything we've done is a motivation for reproduction or for being more attractive to a mate. It's Freud, but it's taken further than Freud. It's not just Freud. There's even further. Like, I mean, it's it goes like to the highest extremes, like everything. I mean, the hunter-gatherer portion of our evolution, that's so we can fucking eat and live. But then Freud and Boyd and Lloyd would probably say something like, yes, but then you live to fuck. It's like that. For me, it's an oversimplification, but I kind of understand where it's coming from. Someone wrote Freud, food, Frodo, shot. That's part of evolutionary psych as well? Okay, well, I am 100% out of my depth with this topic, so I'm not even going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, but that's just a little bit of something that I know. I mean, I know a little bit about a couple things. That's the way I say it. Why does Freud sound like Bela Lugosi? We must use our... we must gather food so we can fuck. Horny Dracula.
I'm talking a vampire who can't stop having sex with us.
But no, I mean, I can kind of see, like, the aliens check out the internet. Like, they get here and, like, they're flying around in their little bean craft. And, they're beaning it up on their craft. And
Exactly.
they get a signal of the internet, and, like, it's mostly porn. Like, they just mostly find porn. And so they might say, well, this is what they want. This is the most dominant form of entertainment on this planet, or this is the most, like, consumed, like...
Blah, blah, we check the metrics.
I gotta stop doing this. Blah, blah. I gotta stop it.
Do you unlock a new voice tonight?
I don't think I did. I had that voice. it's the opening segment of the voice has not been attempted before. But yeah, I feel like that I understand where that's coming from, and I like it.
Because I've been, I think you recommended it originally. It was the Mysterious Universe podcast.
Yeah.
Two Australian dudes. I really enjoy their style and everything, but there was one that was so funny, and I'm not going to be able to explain it in a funny way probably, but it was some actual thing that happened where this like big time conspiracy theorist alien guy who's just hardcore believes all of this claim that he got a hold of all of these genuine alien communication devices, and he somehow managed to get an interview or get like a face-to-face meeting with the president at the time. I can't remember what year it was, in order to present his findings. And then there was like an official presidential reporter that wrote an account of what happened. So there's no actual video or audio of this, but it was just someone with a very like straight-laced just description of how this whole interaction transpired. And then the podcast, they were reading it like exactly what was happening. It was just the most absurd, over-the-top thing. Like clearly, I don't remember what president it was. The president just was not having any of it and just didn't believe it at all, but he was trying to convince him that these were like alien artifacts, and the president was like, I don't know. It's hard to describe it in a funny way, but it's just the way they were reading it made it so incredibly funny. It's like, how did this guy get a meeting?
Yeah, how do you get a
president?
meeting? Like that doesn't make any goddamn sense, but I guess Jimmy Carter wasn't doing anything else that day.
Right. And one of the descriptions too was like describing the devices that he had, and of course, like the guys in the podcast are just completely losing it, laughing as they're reading descriptions. Like the device could be described as what looks to be, like a spoon with tin foil and a wire wrapped around several toothpicks that had a string leading into a backpack. And it's just I wish a video existed of this whole interaction.
But then you get into like John Teeter shit, like the descriptions of the technology that he, supposedly brought.
And that's what always gets me annoyed a lot of times with like people's descriptions of alien encounters. Like they talk about how freaked out they were and how they like blacked out and they barely remember anything. And then they're like, okay, so describe what the aliens are like. The alien had like, pale skin with several wrinkles by the left side of their right arm, and fingernails were slightly longer, and one eye was like, okay, you're just talking about how completely out of it you are, and then you go in this long poetic description on how the alien looked. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Someone said the main thing is that Jimmy Carter actually kind of campaigned on alien disclosure as a minor policy point. He shut his gob shortly after reaching the presidency, though. Bill Clinton talked about aliens. He was like, yeah, well, that's terrible, Bill Clinton. But he talked about aliens a bit. He's like, I'll tell you about the truth of it. But then he never said a word about it again. And even in subsequent interviews, he's like, nah, it's all bullshit, So, I don't know. But the problem with alien stuff is you can look at that and be like, oh, he was shut down. As opposed to there was no alien stuff. So you could just, whatever you want to believe in, you just believe in it. It's fun. Someone said a lot of alien encounters were repressed traumatic memories. Well, that's, yeah. I mean, there's Bud Hopkins did a lot of research and regression therapy with abductees. And, it's very interesting that there is real trauma there. But, you could just easily, any naysayer could say like, oh, that's just a repressed memory or a dream or a nightmare or like a surgery or something. You could really just say it's anything other than aliens, and none would be the wiser, really. So it's kind of impossible. The only thing is when people say there is one alien point that I don't like is they're attention seekers, because there are people that claim their lives were destroyed by this, and they're not writing a book and they're not making money on it, and they're just like crying in therapy all the time. That I have to wonder, like, you could probably point to some kind of mental illness there, but the whole oh, they just want attention, that seems a little thin for me as someone who's read about the topic. But that's usually the go-to. It's like, oh, they want to write a book, or oh, they want to be famous. Could you imagine that's your claim to fame? I was abducted by aliens and had an alien dildo up my butt. Like that's your that's your claim to fame? That's what you're gonna try to like stake your career and reputation on? And I mean, no one's gonna fucking believe you.
That's kind of the thing too, is that I think the last time we talked about aliens on here, this came up too, it was that it's like someone can 100% believe their alien encounter to be true. Like everything they said is true. They're not lying, making
Right.
things up.
They believe
and
it's
all
true.
that. Yeah, doesn't mean that it did happen, but they could be telling the complete truth from their perspective. It's just like the human mind is just so like malleable, and especially during traumatic situations with like adrenaline, and like your brain just does crazy stuff when it doesn't know how to respond to a situation. So it's like it just makes it all even more complex to figure out, what sort of evidence was created. And
there's a million variables. Someone said though in chat, no attention is bad attention. I think that's bullshit. I think there's plenty of bad attention. There's the attention that might have you disowned by your family, that might put you on a fucking government watch list. There's certainly bad attention, but there's also, some people don't know any better. I think some people might believe that, and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, there's no such thing as bad attention. I want to be known as the alien person. And then they realize later, like, oh, that was dumb. So it's certainly possible. But yeah, I don't know. The whole alien thing is endlessly fascinating to me on a number of different levels. On a psychological level, on a kind of just an existential level, but also the people that did research about it. I just want to say, though, I like this game. But holy fuck, not having all the minerals you need for certain things on the planet you need them on is awful. And there's so much to remember that you have to remember. Like right now you're trying to build a medium power generator, and I'm like running around in circles with my thumb up my ass pennies, and I don't know what I'm doing. So
yeah, and I'm running at like 5 frames a second. Just trying to find my corpse, getting lost in the middle of a planet. This needs some work.
Yeah. I mean, at least the conversation is good.
That's what we come here for.
I'll leave that up to chat.
Vinny, did you ever hear the last podcast on the left episode about Valiant Thor? Yeah, Valiant Thor was supposedly an alien that worked within the U.S. government. He was a humanoid, maybe a shapeshifter or like a Nordic alien. The North belong to the Nord. But yeah, he was a very interesting character.
What's kind of sad that happens anytime you have like someone like Valiant Thor and all these stories about like, oh, this is kind of this weird looking fellow that's working for the government, and people come up with these conspiracies and all this stuff, and it turns out like, oh, well, this person has third-degree burns because they were in the military and got in an accident. And it's like it always turns out that it's just some, genetic thing or an injury, and then people are like, no, I'm convinced that they're lizards and they're here to destroy.
What if they say they're
humanity.
lizards?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because when I was growing up,
with injuries.
when I was 18 or so, or even a little younger, maybe 16, I remember reading a story online about some lizard person named Lacerda that had a sexual relationship with a human man. And so that was going around the alien circles, and it wasn't like message boards today. So it became like alien erotica, and people were convinced it was real because reptilians are real. So
what's the basis for it being reptilian? Like, why that in particular? Is there some like biblical backing, or where does that come from?
There's some
I've always
biblical
been
stuff.
curious.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, people interpret the Bible in whatever way they want, but the reptilian thing is just. Some people feel it was originated by David Icke. Others feel it was just a thing that people talked about. Like, I don't know, like an evolution of dinosaurs, a separate evolutionary chain.
That actually reminds me of this really interesting short video that talks about how the stereotypical image of what an alien looks like the gray alien, where that came from, and it goes through how it was most likely the history of filmmaking that created that image, and it was like a utility thing or a practical thing, where
Right,
they,
like an evolution of that.
yeah, where it was like they needed some really cheap way to make someone look like they weren't from this planet, and it was like a old black and white film. I can never remember the name of it. It's the one that has like the moon with the rocket in the eye of the moon.
Yeah. That's I don't know. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, but like that film, it was extremely influential on like sci-fi and just all of these interpretations of alien life, because they didn't have anything to go on. Like all modern day filmmakers have like a giant collection of possible influences, but they're like, how can we do this? So it was just like an easy way to just take an already existing person and then just modify parts of them. And then over time, more people started getting influenced by that over and over and over. And then, film was extremely powerful at the time, since it was like barely any TV or anything like that. And now in modern day, when we have TV and video games and all this different kind of media, it's like all of our impressions on aliens and zombies and all of that is just based on entertainment. So it always makes me think that if somehow in a zombie apocalypse actually happened, would people just behave like they would in a film? They'd say like, oh, okay, we got to go down to the CDC. We got to find the Center for Disease Control, and we're going to solve this zombie situation. Like, people are going to just act like they would in a film, because that's our only interpretation of it. Yeah. So I think the world is like mega fucked in the situation.
But what if? But what about the people that saw aliens and they said there were big eyes and gray? You. I know what you're trying to say. I'm fucking with you, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like, practical survival skills and things like that would be a lot much more valuable. But that's not, a necessity to everyday life. But at people's everyday lives, they're just absorbing entertainment and like fictional worlds, and that's all we have to go on. So it would be very weird if we actually had an apocalypse to see how people would behave.
I don't have an answer to that. I don't have anything that you would, I wouldn't have a response to that necessarily. Because I agree. I actually do agree. But I wonder if there isn't some kind of like deep-seated, like, human beings have evolved to be afraid of snakes, or like there's a certain type of like visual pattern that we've become accustomed to during our evolution, which is like the slithery thing in the corner of your eyes. It's like a fear. It's a primal fear that we've evolved as a defense mechanism. Someone said that's fake. Fake. Two people said it was fake. So never mind then. Chat said it was fake. You got a source on that? I don't know. This is what I read a long time ago, but I'm just bringing it up as an example. There are also those that are actually very afraid of the big eyes with the small slit mouth and the big gray head. And apparently there's like a deep fear there as well. And some of the alien conspiracy theorists have surmised that we've also evolutionarily developed that fear because them aliens has been with us forever. I'm just making these horrendous jumps and logic, but it's true. I mean, I think it's more someone said the uncanny valley. I think I agree with that more.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that, because it's sort of reminded me of, it's just that, humans are specially designed, I shouldn't say design, are evolved to understand the human face and proportions and things like that so much better than anything else. That's why, Uncanny Valley and all that kind of exists, is that we have a super critical eye for the proportions of the human face, and then we see faces in things like in wood grain, and when symmetry happens, people start seeing faces.
You do, yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So it would make sense that if there was something that made you feel really uncomfortable, was something that your body wanted to interpret as a face, but it wasn't quite enough information for it to fully be a face. So in some like deep primal level, it becomes more disturbing because it's not a face, but it's enough of one to
Right.
be interpreted as a face. So it's that incomplete connection that makes you uncomfortable.
Someone also said that I liked in chat, gray skin, empty eyes, and thin outstretched limbs also resembles corpses.
Yeah,
I like
and,
that one. I like that one a lot.
Like how the stormtroopers in Star Wars were designed after skeletons, from what I heard. And it was about having like, large, black, sunken in looking eyes, and they have that sort of arched look of missing nose with like cartilage, and that whole shape is something that's fearful naturally to a human face.
I guess so. I always thought, honestly, stormtroopers in Star Wars never scared me, but I just thought they looked cool. I just thought it was a cool costume. But I understand where you're coming from. I think I can see where they got the design inspiration from for sure. Yeah. Also, this is we're hitting almost 3:45, so I'm gonna stop now. I think.
Oh no! All right.
Yeah, it got late. But here's the thing. Again, I would like to stream this game more, but I don't have any like goals. I don't know what to do. Mostly I just like talking with you guys. But this is a really frustrating game when it comes to, and I'm not just talking about the performance issues because I've been running fine, but I think the main issue I have is like if I were to get the materials I needed for this planet, I'd have to go to another planet.
Well, it's like the further into the game you get, the more like upper level thinking you have to get, because you're like, okay, I got to go to this planet, get this thing, get this many materials, get back to the planet.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, the divided attention of doing a stream and talking to people just crashes into
totally.
the learning curve of the game.
But no, because there's also the improved technologies get you stuff easier. You're supposed to get a trading post by now, right? Like, but I was looking for tungsten to build that.
Yeah,
and
I can't even
frame rates go
build
to
it.
shit, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. I was wondering about the trading post earlier myself, and I just, I don't know how to build that.
So basically, you get a trading post that gets you everything you need, and then you can build thrusters as much as you want. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want, and that it gets easier. The problem is we're at this bottleneck, and the patches are not helping.
Well, maybe we can get tungsten off stream at some point and just, build the trading post and then resume next time, and that way we have some stuff we can actually accomplish.
Yeah.
I think even starting a new save would fix the support or the stability problems, and then there's cheats that can be used in the game to like start us off where we left off, but then we would just sort of undo all previous things.
Yeah, I would not want to start over, because then I would have no motivation to continue playing this game.
And then someone in chat said, let's just do the same thing but in Minecraft instead.
Minecraft is peaceful. It's just a way to talk and build. I get it, but I don't think I'm into it at the moment. When Dragon Quest Builders 2 comes out, though, I'm definitely going to be playing that.
Is that a PC game?
Yeah, I'm gonna get on the Switch. I don't know if it's on PC, but I also someone said Terraria. I've already completed Terraria. Not completed, but I did almost everything in the game several times. So Starbound. No, I mean, this is a cool game. I also am not always down to do streams like this. But in the case of tonight, I did enjoy it, even if I did just run around in circles. We got to get that fucking trading post, and then maybe we can continue. But hopefully they will fix the stuff. All right, I'm gonna save and quit when you guys are ready.
I'm good.
I'm ready.
I actually rage quit the game a minute before you quit.
Okay. Rage quitting a chill game does not exactly sound like a good thing. But anyway, that's Astroneer. Pretty cool. Not really. What we need to do is, yeah, the performance is horrendous. Why don't maybe see Dave if it works well on your own save, and if it doesn't, then something's fucked.
All right.
Anyway, maybe we'll do this again soon. Thanks for stopping by, chat. I'm going
Thanks for having
to
us.
do the art in a minute, but Dave, Mono Dave, thank you for joining.
No problem.
Good chat. And DaveKap, good pancake bread.
Oh yeah. Glad you like it.
All right. Well, I will see you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.